Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, we take a look at the racially influenced protest at the University of Missouri.
And it looks like social media has many people's attention. Find out how social media can distract college students from their studies.
It was not what the Iowa basketball team expected on Friday night.
Find out more in sports.
All that and more coming up.
Daily Iowan TV stars now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Sanchez.
And I'm Haley Van Dyke.
Fight for freedom!
It is our duty to fight for freedom!
It is our duty to win!
It is our duty to win!
What you just heard is some of the student reaction at the University of Missouri after their president, Tim Wolf, resigned early Monday morning following racially charged protests on campus. Wolf stepped down effective immediately. The president's resignation comes after multiple student protests, including 32 African-American football players boycotting all team activities and a hunger strike by one black graduate student since November 2nd. While not all undergraduate students have been involved in the protests, two student groups have called for walkouts protesting against Wolf's handling of racial issues and discrimination.
Who chose to stand up in this time who made this possible. This was not Jonathan Butler. This was the Mizzou community for one of the first times that I've ever seen stand together united.
The Missouri Student Association called for Wolf to step down in a letter to the Board of Curators Sunday, saying there has been an increased tension and inequality with no systematic support. Following the fatal shooting of armed black 18-year-old Michael Brown by the white police officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson last year. Black student groups have also brought the attention to months of racial slurs and other acts of discrimination on the most white campus. While some students and faculty see Tim Wolf's resignation as a victory, many also say this is just the first step in fixing a deeply rooted racial inequality on campus. Currently the school's undergraduate population is 79% white and 8% black. The state of Missouri is about 83% white and nearly 12% black.
The University of Iowa is providing free mumps vaccines starting tomorrow in an attempt to halt the spread of mumps on campus. Last week, the UI reported more than 100 cases of mumps at the university. An email was sent out urging students under 25 years old to get the third dose starting on Tuesday. Health officials will be at Burge Hall and other locations throughout the week. For more information, check out dailyiowan.com or tune in tomorrow to see reporter Andrew Roberts give us a closer look.
Being a university resident assistant can be a rewarding experience, but the road to get there is not necessarily an easy one. Daily Iowan TV reporter Larry Bartlett takes a look into the process of becoming an RA.
The process of becoming a resident assistant is highly competitive, with only about 50 or 60 of the 300 applicants making the cut. Every university residence hall has at least one RA per floor. This person serves as a community leader for their section, planning events and keeping the peace between students.
My first floor meeting, I told my residents, like, hey, I'm here for you. I'm not the police. I'm not looking for trouble. You know, I'm not going to like writing incident reports, but if I have to, I will.
The RA application went live on November 3rd and is due just before winter break. The application includes a resume and 2 letters of recommendation. If an application is accepted, the candidate will then enroll in an RA seminar designed for the residence education staff to better get to know the applicants. If the staff continues to approve of a candidate, they will then get an interview and a decision.
After the interview, you get one of 3 answers. Yay, you got the job. Sorry, we don't have a position for you this year, or we don't have a position for you, but can we put you in our alternative pool?
RAs get free room and board as well as a $5,000 paycheck, but their job is not easy, often requiring them to work long hours and dealing with some of the less glamorous parts of dorm life. Reporting from the IMU, this is Alara Bartlett for Daily Iowan TV.
An Iowa City man died in a motorcycle accident and his passenger was injured around 11 p.m. Friday night. The driver, Ian Liang, lost control of the motorcycle, causing him to slide into a ditch. Liang was not wearing a helmet and died as a result of his injuries. The passenger also lacked a helmet and suffers from non-life-threatening injuries.
Social media has been known to cause a distraction for many college students. With the constant use of social media and cell phones, are these forms of technology affecting the way college students learn? Daily Iowan's Nicholas Moreno has the story.
The constant drive to be up to date with the latest information can be a distraction for students, but according to one U of I professor, the distraction lies where students focus their attention.
We've increasingly gotten in the habit of dividing our attention. And so as a society, we're not very good at focusing on this thing and focusing on that thing and then focus on that thing.
One U of I student thinks social media is a big distraction for students.
For math, I pick up my phone, I look at social media, I put it back down. And I know that if I just put my phone away, like across the room, I get so much more done.
All it takes is a tap on your screen to access your favorite social media app, like Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. With so many apps, no wonder college students are having trouble focusing in class. Another U of I student finds it rewarding to hear his phone vibrate.
I don't know, when I hear that zzz, zzz, it psychologically tells me that, like, oh wow, somebody important has texted me or something just happened.
Eckdale thinks working on one thing at a time is beneficial for students' learning.
Research does show the more we divide our attention, the less we learn from that. We're not as concentrated. If you can, put yourself in a room and lock the doors and take away the technology and take away any chance of interruption, you're going to learn a lot better and more efficiently than you would otherwise.
Distractions are everywhere, but students control where they focus their attention. Nicholas Moriano, Daily Iowan TV.
The University of Iowa will be hosting a conference later this week to discuss issues related to heroin abuse and other harmful opioid drugs. The meeting has been titled Heroin and Opioids, a Community Crisis, and will take place in the College of Public Health building on Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Discussion will include the deaths due to opioid usage in Iowa, as well as information on fighting drug addiction in the community.
Well, Megan, the temperatures seem to be dropping quite drastically outside, but the sunshine is still here.
Absolutely, Haley. It's good. I still need my vitamin D despite this terrible cold, but we'll have to see if it'll continue. Let's toss it over to Andrew Roberts, who's standing by in the weather studio. Andrew?
Well, I'm not too sure about you guys, but I enjoyed the sunshine as I strolled to my classes, and I'm excited to see that for Tuesday's forecast as well. In the morning, we will see clear skies and temperatures starting at 35 degrees. Moving on to the afternoon, temps will hover around 53. Once the sun goes down for the night, the temps will fall to 48 degrees. Looking at the rest of the week, Wednesday is not looking too good for us Hawkeyes with temps of 58. There will be heavy thunderstorms and winds up to 22 miles per hour, so be prepared for that. Thursday and Friday, we will see partly cloudy skies with temps in the low 50s on Thursday and mid 40s on Friday. Heading into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, clear skies are ahead of us, and temps reaching upper 50s on Saturday and low 60s on Sundays will be in play. That's all I have for you today at the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
Some University of Iowa students chose to spend their Friday night in jail, but for a good cause. Each fall semester, students of the Gender, Women's, and Sexuality Studies travel to the Iowa Correctional Institution for Women in Mitchville to teach classes for prisoners in the topic of healthy relationships. The classes consist of communication, power and control, and sexual assault. The students work to bring both attention and empathy to the women they teach.
Well, Megan, another exciting weekend in college football for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing what the ladies have over in the sports studio, so let's give it away. Laura and Katie?
The Big Ten Conference has been one to watch this football season.
And the main talk has been around the conference's quarterbacks who have been dominating each week. It happened again on Saturday when Nebraska's Tommy Armstrong took an undefeated Michigan State team down to the wire and pulled off the upset 39-38.
Now, only two teams in the Big Ten remain undefeated. On the east side, Ohio State, and right here on the west side is Iowa. And the quarterback talk has been all the hype surrounding the program.
Iowa quarterback C.J. Beathard is putting marks on the stat sheet that were invisible in the 2014 season due to a head-to-head battle with now starting Michigan quarterback Jake Rudock.
His poise and his toughness out on the field are extremely impressive, and now it's just skyrocketing in my mind.
The Tennessee native has numbers reaching 162 of 278 passing for 2,076 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, and 247 rushing with 4 rushing touchdowns. including one on Saturday's win against Indiana.
You know, I was just trying to do anything I could to get it in the end zone. I felt like the only way I could get in is by jumping over top, and you know, I got in. Obviously, I want to hold on to the ball, but you know, we scored, so it was good.
But it hasn't been a smooth ride for Beathard. Injuries have been keeping the quarterback from executing certain plays. But when Coach Davis called for the quarterback keep on Saturday, Beathard was excited.
When I scored on that touchdown, Coach Davis called a quarterback draw, and I was surprised he called it because, you know, I told him I felt good, and, you know, I was just happy he called it. I was like, yeah, that shows he's got trust in me. And that shows that I have to be honest with him, because if he would have called that and I wouldn't have been able to do it, it wouldn't have been good for our offense and our team.
The team is noticing the 100% effort that Beathard is giving, even if his body isn't completely healthy yet.
Hey, we right behind him. He's a leader. When he do that, then that make George Kittle go out and do it. We just following behind everything he doing. We gonna go as far as he takes us.
Beathard stays humble, even though he is the first quarterback in school history to win his first 9 career starts.
Every game we've won is a team win, and you know, I think that's a credit to this team as a whole. It's not, we don't have many individuals on this team that are trying to take the spotlight. We got a lot of team players on this team, and yeah, it goes back to the off season. We made it a big priority to come together as a team. We wanted to change the culture around this program, and you know, I think we've done that, and we're not stopping here. We want to keep winning.
This has been Taylor Brooks for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
We will see if the streak can stay alive on Saturday when Minnesota comes to town.
For more on that matchup, Kirk Ferentz will give us the rundown on Tuesday's show.
Moving from the gridiron to court, Iowa basketball played their second exhibition game last week, and it didn't quite go as planned.
Basketball reporter Hannah Thompson has more.
With 2 exhibition games under their belt, the Iowa men's basketball team heads into regular season play this coming weekend. Now, with the loss from this Friday, the team says they know what they need to do and how they need to play come game time. The Iowa versus Augustana game was a game filled with high energy from both sides of the court. But the Iowa side seemed to be a bit outplayed in most areas, especially rebounding both defensively and offensively, and shot making. Though Iowa took the first exhibition game fairly easily, playing Augustana proved much more difficult than expected, as they handed them their first exhibition loss since 2002. But Coach Fran McCaffrey said there's a reason they play these kinds of games.
There's 2 ways to look at this game. You can schedule it or not, okay? I mean, we could have found a team that won 8 games last year very easily. We scheduled a team that won 31 games. But I felt like, you know what? We needed a game like this right here. We better play somebody good who is going to expose some of our weaknesses, as opposed to, you know, you win by 25 and you not really know where your weaknesses are yet.
Now, a lot of lessons were learned during these 2 games, especially by new young players like forward Dale Jones.
Taking away from the first game, the biggest thing was not to start off slow. No matter who the team is, no matter what their reputation is, you got to come out with a lot of energy, and I think that's what we did today. Taking away from this game, you can't let up.
Iowa plans to take these lessons learned and move forward with their young team to apply the new strategies in their games against the tough conference teams of the Big Ten. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hannah Thompson, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The men's and women's basketball teams open up at home in Carver with a doubleheader on Friday.
And as we talked about earlier in the show, we'll hear from head man Kirk Ferentz tomorrow, while also getting caught up on the Iowa women's basketball squad as they had their first and only exhibition contest of the year. Haley and Megan, back to you.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Haley Van Dyke.
And I'm Megan Sanchez. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.